All right, what's going on, guys? I am Kadarius Washington, and this is the Sports Rundown. So, Game 3 of the WNBA Finals between the Las Vegas Aces and the Phoenix Mercury is coming up tomorrow night as the series now shifts to Phoenix, and the Aces are going into the game with a 2-0 series lead following an 89-86 win over the Mercury in Game 1, and then a 91-78 rout in Game 2. And of course, the story of Game 1 was Dana Evans for the Aces going off for a game-high 21 points on 62% shooting. And then Alyssa Thomas at the free throw line in the final seconds of the game for the Mercury had a chance to either tie or take the lead and missed both of the free throws, which was a backbreaker. And then on the Mercury's last possession, they weren't able to get a clean shot off, which at the same time you have to give credit to the Aces defense for. And then in Game 2, it really wasn't all that competitive after the first quarter. After a tight first quarter, the Aces went on a huge 19-4 run to close the second quarter. They led by as much as 22 in the game. I turned the game off near the end of the third quarter. The thing was pretty much decided. A'ja Wilson, 20 first half points, tied for the most in a half in finals history. She finished with 28 in the game. And Jackie Young with 21 points in the third quarter, which is, I believe, tied for the most in finals history in a quarter. Finished with 32, which was a game high. And, of course, Game 3 tips off tomorrow night as the series now shifts to Phoenix. All right, a few things here. Number one, the Mercury should have won Game 1. They should have won it. It is rare, very rare, for both A'ja Wilson and Jackie Young to have off nights offensively. I know A'ja Wilson tied the game high with 21 points to go along with 10 rebounds, but she only had 9 points in the first half. And 7 of those 21 points came from the free throw line. And Jackie Young did not play well at all in Game 1. Only 10 points, 3 for 13 from the field, and 0 for 6 from 3. You do not get that very often with the Aces in a setting like this. And so if you're the Mercury, you have to take advantage of that, but at the same time also give credit to the Aces for making those adjustments, especially on the defensive end. And then what happened in Game 2? A'ja Wilson goes nuts in the first half. Jackie Young goes nuts in the second half. And now the Mercury are in an 0-2 hole. Now listen, on Friday, I picked the Mercury to win in 6. I said that this was a matchup that's going to come down to the benches and that the better, more efficient bench was going to win the series. And the Mercury were one of, if not the best bench in the league this past year. And I told you that I liked them. I told you how deep they were. And I told you that I felt like they had more ways that they could beat you than the Aces did. Well, so far, 2 games in, that prediction is looking downright dumb. It's like the 2 teams that I told you about on Friday are 2 completely different teams in this series. And before Game 1, Becky Hammon said that the Aces bench had been the difference for them, and this was essentially the best bench that they've had for a postseason run. And so far, that's been the case, especially in this series. Because in Game 1, the Aces bench outscored the Mercury bench 41-16. Albeit Dana Evans and Jewel Lloyd accounted for 21 and 18 respectively. And along with that, the Aces bench shot 17 for 31 from the field, and the Mercury bench shot 6 for 23 from the field. And then in Game 2, the Aces bench once again outscored the Mercury bench 16-8. And the Mercury bench shot 2 for 14 from the field. Mind you, the Mercury led the league in bench points this year at about 25 points per game. And the Aces bench ranked 8th. Again, the Aces bench did step up in the postseason, but the Mercury bench really scoring 8 points in Game 2. And at the same time, outside of DeWanna Bonner, Sammy Whitcomb, and Kat Westbeld, Nate Tibbetts has not dipped into his bench this series, and the only time he actually did was on Sunday in Game 2 when the game was already decided. And listen, folks, the Mercury cannot lose Game 3 on Wednesday under any circumstances. If the Mercury lose Game 3, and they go down 0-3, this thing is over. And then we're going to be coming on here either on Friday night or sometime Monday, and we're going to be congratulating the Las Vegas Aces on winning their third championship in the last 4 years and officially crowning them a dynasty. Now, obviously, my prediction of Mercury in 6 is still in play, but having to beat the Aces now 3 out of the next 4 games, a very tough ask, and my prediction is not looking good right now. Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell to be notified of when I post again, and also follow me on Twitter and on Bluesky at CW Talk Sports. That's CWTALKS Sports, and I will see y'all the next time. Peace.